In this video, we are going to solve the 2003 AP Calculus AB FRQ question. It appears to be related rates. A coffee pot has the shape of a cylinder with a radius of 5 inches as shown in the figure above. Let h be the depth of the coffee in the pot measured in inches, where h is a function of time t measured in seconds. The volume of V of the coffee in the pot is changing at a rate of negative 5 pi root h cubic inches per second. The volume of V of a cylinder with radius r and height h is V equals pi r squared h. Show that dH of dt equals negative root 5. So now, when you do part A, we have volume equals pi r squared h. I don't believe that's dark enough to show. Okay, so anyway, volume equals pi, the radius is 5, squared h, so we're going to get V equals 25 pi h. So when we take the derivative, we're going to get dV dt equals 25 pi is a constant, dH dt, and now we have dV dt, which was the negative 5 pi root h, equals 25 pi dH dt. So when I solve this, I'm going to divide both sides by 25 pi. And now I'm going to get negative 1 over 5 root h equals dH dt. So I just proved the first part. So usually you have to write a sentence. So you would say, when the radius is 5 inches and the rate of the volume is negative 5 pi root h, the height of the water is decreasing by root h over 5. Okay, for the second part, it says, given that h equals 17 and t equals 0, solve the differential equation dH over dt equals negative root h over 5. So now we have the initial condition 0, 17. And that's t and h. So now we're going to get dH, h to the negative 1/2, that's the same thing as dividing, equals negative 1/5 dt. So now when I take the antiderivative, I'm going to get 2h to the 1/2, which is the same thing as a root, equals negative t over 5 plus c. Plug in my initial condition. So now I'm going to get 2 root 17 equals 0 over 5 plus c. So c has to equal 2 root 17. So now when I have this equation, I'm going to go back in here and plug it in here. So now I'm going to get 2h, let me write it as a root, equals negative t over 5 plus 2 root 17. I'm going to divide everything by 2, so now I'm going to get root h equals negative t over 10 plus root 17. Now I'm going to have to square both sides, so now I'm going to get h equals the quantity of that function squared. That's going to be tough to fit. So that's what h equals. You could actually sit there and FOIL it if you want to, but I'm not going to do that. So now the second part of this question, let me move my canvas so I have a little bit more room. It says, at what time is the coffee pot empty? So in order for the coffee pot to be empty, the height has to equal 0. So if I have this function, I could set it to 0. So let me rewrite that. H equals negative t over 10 plus root 17 quantity squared. So I'm going to set that to 0, and I'm going to get 0 equals negative t plus root 17 squared. So now I'm going to square root both sides, so I'm going to get 0 equals negative t over 10 plus root 17. So now t over 10 is going to equal root 17, or t is going to equal 10 root 17. And does it give us any units? I guess that's seconds, because it says cubic inches per second, so that would have to be seconds. I hope this video helps.